And we're live.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the workshop, number 66, I think.
Whoa.
Today we have Blake and Denzo, and Sylvia will be joining us shortly. This is a safe space for comedy, which means if you're trying to be funny, just try to be funny. It's okay. We're not going to judge you. It's sort of like an anything goes. It's not a safe space per se. It's a safe space for comedy. And also, just to let everyone know that might be watching how it goes, everyone does 3 to 5 minutes on an assigned topic that Scott chose, which are very random. And then we give them feedback, and then everyone does 3 to 5 minutes on their own material, and we give them feedback. And then at the end, you get to plug in your social media or podcasts, anything you have, any projects you're working on. That's okay with you guys?
Yeah, that'll be great. Sounds good, Victoria.
All right. Who wants to start?
I can start. Whatever. Yep, I'm easy.
Brave
man.
All right.
I heard that.
Let me just, so my timer is ready. When you're ready, you're doing war vets, correct?
I'm doing war vets. Yes, I am. Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. Are we all go?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Great. And that's great. And I want to thank you, Scott, for giving me war vets. I got that and I thought, wow, you're going to have a laugh a minute with war vets. Maybe or maybe not. but no, really though, I was in the call up for national service. And I remember one time that while I was there, they interview you, and the guy said to me, he said, "Can you take orders without questioning them?" And I said, "Of course I can. I've been married for 2 years now." That's all right, but I did. I actually have a scar on my shoulder here that goes right the way down there, and so when I was younger, I used to go to to barbecues and that type of thing, and I'd wear my muscle shirt or my singlet because it's really great weather in Australia, and people would always say to me, what's going on with the scar there? So I would tell them the story about I was on a tour of duty in Vietnam. And what happens is, like, it's a bush area, so you're always going around with your bayonet attached because there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat. So I was out there with the patrol, and we're going along, and we engaged with some of the Viet Cong, the gooks we called them then. We engaged with them, and they had their bayonets on too. And one of the guys there, he tried to get me with his bayonet. I ducked over. He got my shoulder instead, and as he did, I put my bayonet in him and shot him, and he fell down, and the big cut came down here. I won't show it to you now, but big cut came down there. And people at the barbecue, they would be enthralled by this story. And it sounds a lot better than just saying that I got a dislocated shoulder, doesn't it? Much better. Yeah, like, yeah, you can get a lot of value out of that one. Yeah, so I like to the war memorials. They got war memorials that remind us about what happened in the war, so everybody can know what's going on. But the war memorial we have here, the main one in Canberra, our capital city. I went there, and there's a letter there to the wives of World War I vets, and the letter says, if your husbands start to talk about their experiences, change the subject. I know that doesn't, we don't do that today or anything, but that's what the letter actually said. Change the subject. And, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking that's easy for wives to change the subject. All they've got to say to the bloke is, hey, let's go for a romp. Yeah, and then the bloke's going, yeah, I don't care. Okay, then, who cares what I was talking about? It doesn't matter. But can you imagine men trying to change the subject when the wife asks you something, hey, love, do the washing up, and then that bloke says, oh yeah, well, how about we go for a romp first, eh? And she'd say, no, do the dishes or you'll be romping by yourself as usual. I reckon that'll be going on there. But it's like it's a little bit of being in the being a vet or being in the army. I think is a little bit like being married because you are told what to do most of the time, and you do. You've got to have cold showers there. That's because in case the urge actually comes up where you're having a shower with 40 other blokes, that's not going to be pretty. So the cold showers are definitely a necessity. But I love the story about my uncle. My uncle was in the Second World War, and he was in New Guinea, and he was fighting the Japanese. And he actually got his hand. He got his hand severed by a sword, and he was taken away, and he ended up. But he came back. He came back okay, but obviously his hand's gone. But the funny thing is that whenever he came to a barbecue or we went out and we had something on, and he'd get drunk, he'd think he still had his other hand. One to the other. It was really funny. It was a good family joke, I reckon. But I reckon God bless the vets, God bless them, and that's all. I think they're all great. We've got to leave on a positive note for the vets, otherwise I'll get in big trouble. But I think I will leave it at that. And God bless the vets.
Thank you.
Yay!
That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. I'm gonna start with the feedback. I thought that you first of all, it was super interesting. Second of all, you told that whole interesting anecdote, and then you just do and that's what the people at the barbecue thought when I told them, and I just thought that was gold to take us. You took us through what happened, and then you just telling your neighbors and stuff at the party what's going on. That was such a mislead. And then I thought you could explore more the comparison between your wife and a war general, because you say that marriage is war. Well, that means that because you say you're taking orders, so you're the soldier, and that means that your wife is ranking above you. And I think that maybe you could you could do more jokes about that. It could be fun. I think it could be funny.
Yeah, that's good.
And,
which she does, of course. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and then you said that the wives had to change the subject, which I thought was kind of horrifying, and you managed to make it funny, so that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe sorry.
Yeah, that was horrifying. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really bad way to deal with trauma.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's nice that you brought it up. That's all for my feedback. If maybe Sylvia wants to go.
Oh my goodness. Well, Denzo, hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Are you down under? I missed the introductions. I'm so sorry. You're in Australia or you're in New Zealand?
I'm in Australia. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I could listen to you talk. I'm sure you've heard that before. Listening to you talk just for a long time. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm an Army brat, so I mean, I always love any sort of similes with the Army life. I came in kind of in the middle, but I agree with what Victoria's saying about the wife and the general. Even just any common phrases that you were told by officers. Could you think of any of those that your wife could also say?
Yep. Yeah. I didn't actually go in, but I can find out common phrases.
And was the punchline, do you have a scar on your arm, or is it from dislocation?
No, I do. It is from a dislocated shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does run down there.
So the big punchline was you told him this was from a battle wound?
Yes, I was telling them it was a battle wound. I used to tell people that. Yeah.
Gotcha,
So it's a better story. It's a better story than saying.
Yeah, I love that. You could even say something. It's your brother that misses his hand.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
You could even say something you try to toss him the grilling tongs and cut you or something. I don't know. Anyways, you did great.
I think I could use a lot more with that too. Yeah.
Oh, it was hilarious. Oh my, the visualization was hilarious for the no hand.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Blake,
that's
do
great.
you have
Thanks
any
for that.
feedback?
I don't have a lot of feedback because I thought everything was great. Maybe some of it might have been slightly a little wordy, but maybe it's not. I have a hard time sometimes with when it comes to being wordy because the punchlines were great and it seemed like you needed everything up to the punchline. So I don't know if you could really cut anything out or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you're right. Being the first time, that could be a bit wordy. Yeah.
sure. I don't know. Can the wife thing was great. The your brother and his phantom hand. I don't know if you could get the word phantom limb in there somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe even have him like when he's drunk, he can do like a phantom high five. I don't know if high fives are a thing in Australia or not,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
they certainly are in the U.S.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yep.
Is he the one that actually started the Pound It? You could like make that up. That he was the first guy to like, pound. You
Yeah.
know what Pound It is?
A
Yeah.
fist bump,
Yeah, it's like, hey, fist bump, fist bump. He was like the guy that invented the fist bump.
Yes.
a,
Yeah.
s-
The
a,
fist
s-
pump.
a stump bump.
He's got the
Sorry,
stump
Blake.
pump.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't know the
He's got
rules.
it.
No,
That's what I like.
you're
You like the stump pump is good.
that's all I have actually. I was impressed. That was great.
Yeah. That
No,
was
thanks very
good.
much, guys. That's really good feedback. Thank you.
All right. Who wants to go next, or should I pick?
I can go.
Before you go, though, I just want to say because Sylvia wasn't there.
So
So
sorry.
is this your first time at the workshop?
Yes.
Okay, this is a comedy safe space. You're
Oh,
allowed
love
to
it.
say whatever you want to make a joke. It's not a safe space. Safe space. They're different, right? And also, yeah, everyone's gonna do 3 to 5 minutes on their assigned topic. Then we give them 3 to 5 minutes of feedback, like we just did. And then when everyone's done, they do 3 to 5 minutes of their own material, and then we give them 3 to 5 minutes of feedback. And then at the end, you get to plug in all your projects, your social media, where you want people to follow you.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
For the own material, is that ideally material that we haven't used in shows before?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, sometimes I'll use material that I'm more familiar with because I need people to laugh.
Yeah, right.
I'm getting a little depressed being cooped up in here. But
Yeah.
if you use material that you haven't used before, you're gonna get more out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I know it's like I want to make people laugh with what I know is good, but then I'm
Yeah.
like, I need
So
to
it's up
work
to
on other
you.
stuff.
Maybe do a mix of both.
Okay, cool.
Stuff that
That's
you're
a good
not
idea.
sure is that you want to work on. You don't know what's wrong with the joke or whatever.
Okay, cool.
So Blake is gonna go.
Well,
Yeah,
in that case, when I do my jokes later, you guys might not laugh at any because I've picked all the jokes that don't work.
No,
That's
But
fine.
that's okay.
Too. I did that too. So
All right, very good. Okay, so my topic is CEOs. It turns out I don't know anything about CEOs. I don't know. I had to do a bit of research. So CEOs is short for Chief Executive Officers, and they are typically tasked with increasing the value of a company, and they have to report to a board of directors, or BOD for short. Ooh. According to Bloomberg magazine, Elon Musk and Tim Cook were the two highest paid CEOs of 2019 at $595 million and $134 million respectively. I actually just said all that so I could say the word respectively. It's one of those words that's kind of useless, but it sounds smart, like the word quantum, which refers to the very small in chemistry and physics. It's a better, smarter way of referring to a micropenis. I forgot my next line. So hey, yeah, hacky dick jokes. Hey, I had to slip that one in there.
Oh,
Oh, he just keeps coming. Man, listen to those hacky jokes. Listen to those. I can't believe I completely forgot that whole part. So, also according to Bloomberg, CEO compensation has apparently increased 900% in the last 40 years, whereas the typical worker is only 12%, which sparked a whole new Pornhub category called CEO porn, where an old white man fondles himself while his shareholders watch and complain about stock prices. In order to be a CEO, though, you have to be relentless. Take Elon Musk, for example. He claimed to had to have worked 80 to 100 hours a week every week to get to where he is. And that's on top of watching robot porn. And that's what I got on CEOs. Thank you.
Hey.
nice, Blake.
That was good. I love how you're roasting all those, rich people. I really like your quantum penis joke, and your bod joke was funny. You have good delivery. I don't have anything for criticism. I'm really sorry.
No, that's okay. I mean, maybe that's a good thing, maybe not.
Yeah.
I actually had another one I forgot to say, but that's okay.
Oh, go ahead.
This one, I just came up with this one, and this one probably is really dumb. So, I thought maybe the musician CeeLo Green could change his name like Puff Daddy did to CeeLo Green to try to jump his career back up, and I just completely screwed that up. To make him relevant again is what I was supposed to say. To make him relevant again. If anybody even knows who CeeLo Green is anymore.
Yeah.
I ruined that one. Sorry.
That's all right.
Good.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all the feedback I have. What about you, Denzel?
Yeah. Look, I thought that was great. I loved your energy, and you're really relaxed with it, and I love the respectively bit, and just throwing in out of the blue, just throwing in the dick ones there. That was like, whoa, where'd that come from? And that was good. Just out of the blue. Yeah, the porn bit was great. The CEO porn, and maybe even at the start you could come up with something with the CEOs with the like some other three meaning for the three-letter acronym. I don't know.
Okay.
Cheap, easy, whatever. I don't know. Just something that that you thought that it might have meant when you. I don't know what CEO.
Okay.
And I thought first of all, I thought it meant this, and then you had to check it out for something like that. So I don't know. Yeah, there could be something good there. But no, I thought that it was really good, entertaining, and it made me want to keep listening to you, which is good.
Good. Thank you.
Introducing your last one as being really dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good introduction to it. I'm going to tell you one.
Yeah, just go with it.
That's true. What about you?
That was great.
What about you, Sylvia?
Thank you.
What did you think?
Oh yeah, I think my favorite part, the most memorable, was the thing I laughed the hardest was the BOD, and I just kept waiting for you to expound on that because I thought that was such gold. So anything with that, I mean, made me giggle. I don't know if you've heard of dad bod, but you could do something with dad bods.
Okay.
Their board of director. I don't know. I do a lot of mom. I have young kids, so I think about dad bods a lot. Yes. But I loved it. That was my favorite part, and I think that you did really good. That was a hard subject.
Well, thank you.
No pun intended with the penis jokes.
I had to squirt those in there.
Oh,
Oh man,
All right.
maybe that's a new tag.
That's a new. Yeah. Sylvia, are you ready with your topic?
yes.
Which was.
Guys, my
What
topic
was
was
your topic?
bands. BANDS.
Yeah.
But I took some creative liberty.
That's okay.
Okay. Well, I do think that we should ban all COVID jokes, especially anyone who's sick of it. I'm a mom of 3, and having toddlers is really cool if you like to spend all your money on Band-Aids. I don't know who the marketing genius was at Johnson & Johnson or at Paw Patrol Studios to think like, I wonder what kids do a lot of. Oh, they get hurt. Let's start printing all of our stuff on Band-Aids. But you know what has never had to innovate? Rubber bands. Rubber bands have stayed the same through all the generations. And you know that if you're the person that has a drawer of rubber bands, you're also the same person that has a plastic bag of other plastic bags. Something that always is innovating are hair bands. And just leave it to women's products to always want to one-up each other. Or try to make each other better depending on what kind of woman you are. My parents divorced when I was young, and my dad had to learn how to use hair bands. And the only ones he could ever figure out to use were the ones with the 2 ball bearings at the end. And my dad's a genius because I can't even use those as an adult. And I don't want to blame my parents' divorce on me being anti-committal in life. But even when I try to throw my clothes in the laundry basket, they hang out on the side because they can't even commit to whether they're clean or dirty or not. I did have a fan. I mean, I'm not a basic white girl, but I'm friends with a lot of them. So I was a bridesmaid in a wedding, and the gift was these sparkly hair bands. And they had a really cute saying that said, "To have and to hold, will you be my bridesmaid?" Unfortunately, it did break, and so did their marriage. It didn't break. Divorce is not funny. But I do feel responsible because it was my fault it broke. I guess after all, they should have gave us rubber bands instead. And that's it I have on bands.
All right.
Yay! Yay!
Cool. That was very stream of consciousness.
It was.
Yeah, I like it. It's different. I thought that your delivery was good. Maybe you can have examples of like, because you said hair bands always one up each other. You
Yeah.
can like, because like I know that there's like like you're talking about the hair bands that go like this, right?
Yeah, those, or like the ones that you hold up your hair, because I feel like you have like the regular ones, and then they get the twirly ones, and then they have the ones.
And
that
then
come
there's
with
some with
creases.
pearls in them, and
Yeah.
then there's some made with telephone cords and stuff, and like now there's like designer
Yes.
hair bands.
The ponyo to give you a perky pony. Yes, that's a good idea. Example.
And then I noticed that you use a basic white girl instead of basic bitch. Is there, do you not swear during your act?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that was the same thing.
Yeah, it's basic bitch.
Is it? I've always heard basic white girl. Okay. Maybe because I am a basic white girl after all. Oh, that's funny. I would swear. I don't typically, just because I sound dumb, not because I'm like morally against it, but
okay,
that's so funny. Okay, I like it.
That's okay.
It packs a bigger punch, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's why I said it, because usually
Yeah.
if you swear or something, the audience sort of perks up.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, that's it for me for feedback.
Thank
What
you.
about you, Denzel?
Yeah. Look, that was great, and I like what you were saying then, Victoria. That throwing in when I don't swear also, but sometimes it can work.
Yeah.
It's not like swearing for the sake of swearing. It's actually
Yeah.
for a reason. Yeah, well, of course you're if you're explaining a stereotype, so that could be really good. Yeah, no, that's great. But yeah, I like the way you went through and you were doing things like you as a mum of three, and then your mum and dad and the divorce thing. So yeah, I like when you're doing the family thing like that, ending them in there. Yeah, I thought when you were saying that the basic white girl, I think you could do more on this, because when you said after that, you said you're a basic white girl, but you know a few that aren't, or they are.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not one, but I have lots of friends that are.
I'm not one, but you got friends that are. Yeah, I thought that was really good. I thought that was great, and just going through your different bands and that, and even with the marriage, that's the marriage bands or something like that. A bit of a bit of a twist with that.
I love that.
So, as they could keep together, maybe you could have a Bluetooth band. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, rather than whatever you can do with it. But no, that was great. That was great.
Thank you, Denzo.
Excellent.
Thanks.
All right. What about you, Blake?
All right. I like your first COVID joke, because you got us. You slapped us right in the face with that one. That was great. Let's see. When you talked about the different hair bands, I think if you could elaborate on actual 80s hair bands, somehow tie it into 80s hair bands, because they were so feminine in their look, that I think somehow you could make a good tie-in in there, even though I don't think they were known for wearing like actual hair bands, but
Yeah.
they definitely wore a lot of makeup and tights and the big elaborate 80s hair. I thought that would be perfect. And I couldn't figure it out. When you were talking about all the rubber bands in the drawers, and then people who have those would also have plastic bags in their plastic bags, I feel like somehow you can do something more with that, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I was trying to figure that out while you were going.
Yeah.
I feel like you could do something more with that. And that's all I have.
Like
True.
add a third, that would be like a ridiculous. Like, I bet those people also use condoms or something. Like,
I bet they put on their seatbelts too.
Yeah. What a bunch of losers. Nerds.
That's good. Yeah, rule of three. I should know better.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, right.
You guys are so awesome. Thank you.
You guys are awesome.
Well, yeah.
So fun.
No, you're awesome.
You're awesome.
Come on.
I got you guys all best friend bracelets. If you reach under your chair.
All right. I'm going to go ahead with newspapers.
Nice.
All right.
Right.
So, newspapers, or journals as they like to be called, are full of news. The papers are made of different sections. First section is the news, obviously, and as you would expect, it only takes about a quarter of the newspaper. The second section is the cartoons and sudokus, which is the only part I read, along with the classified ads, because I just want to know, like, who's selling a horse? How much is a horse? You know, which massage parlor is hiring, and do I still fit their standards? You know, I gotta have a fallback. The last one is the entertainment section, which is just like critiques of shows and things mainly ripped off of Facebook and Twitter without anyone's consent. There's also the investment section and the sports section. But to be honest, sports fans, they're not the most avid newspaper readers. I don't even know why that's there. You know? It could just be like images and a short sentence at the bottom. You know, the only people that care about the sports section are the athletes and their moms because they want to cut up the articles for their scrapbooking. And then there's the investment section, which I imagine like Wolf of Wall Street type of guys read. And I feel like they should come up with a different format, like teen magazine, you know, that has a little toy in it, but instead of like a free strawberry lip gloss, they would get like a cocaine straw and like, or like a special fish lens to put on their phone to enhance their dick pics and make them more artistic. Because everyone needs an artistic outlet in their life, right? Yeah, the newspaper is a dying industry, but I have a few recommendations to save that industry. So, first of all, the editorial should be written by actually interesting people, not some Nobel laureates or Oscar-winning journalists that no one cares about. It should be like Pew Pew Die, which is like the most famous YouTuber, or like a Kardashian, you know? If a Kardashian wrote the newspaper, people would buy it. And then the front page, I think, should be more like clickbait. You know, it should read something like, only 90s kids will get this.
Oh.
Or, you'll never believe what happened to Trudeau this week. Or maybe, here's what the liberals don't want you to know, you know? And then people will want to know what the liberals don't want you to know. They'll buy the newspaper. Also, I think they should show more tits in the newspaper. Tits sell. Tits for clicks. Am I right? And that's how it works in 2020. Get a hashtag trending, you know. Undress for the press. Get wet for the Gazette. Buy some tissues for the news. You know. And if I had a newspaper, though, it would be filled with interesting articles of stuff that I did and saw. That's news that you can't get anywhere else. What is my neighbor up to, and why is he making so much noise? Find out in my newspaper, you know? How do you know if your roommate doesn't like you, or if he's just going through a major depression? Those are the kind of articles that are going to rake in the big bucks. That's it for me on newspaper.
Whoa.
Yay!
Thank you.
That's great. That's great. Good. You want me to go first?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that was great. I loved your energy too. I've loved everybody's energy that they put into it. That's great. I love doing the sections that you did there. Then that was great. Investment, the sports. Really, the sports was great. How you showed the different sections there. You could even probably with the sports things throw in some crazy sports. You know, some ridiculous sports.
Okay.
Look at this, and you could even do the lip gloss championship. Well, I don't know, but some
Yeah.
some sort of crazy sport there that just sort of throws everybody, or one or two of those. And loved your just your recommendations. They were great. All the front page headlines, while your marketing recommendations, that's great. I think you've got a lot there that you can actually work with, which is good. Particularly with those front page headlines, that's great. There you are throwing them up there, and all the ones you went through with the tits and the undress for the press and that sort of thing. I thought that was really good, putting all that together. But yeah, no, overall I reckon that was great. Yeah.
Thank you. That's very nice. What about you, Blake?
Let's see. I kind of wish you would have talked about the funny section when you were talking about the section. When I was a kid, that was my favorite part of the newspaper, and I always read it, and that was the only part that actually made me happy. So I don't know if you could make that work or not, but I think that could get in there. I really like how you made everything, or you ended up making newspapers just essentially everything social media in order just to get them to sell. maybe even have like an argument section that ends up being like, I don't know how many pages long, the people just arguing about stupid stuff because they don't listen to each other. They just argue because they want to be right. Um, and also maybe like a reference to how real newspapers have actually gotten smaller every year in the last how many years? I don't know about every year, but they've actually
Yeah.
gotten smaller, like it's some weird evolutionary process, like that penises have gotten smaller somehow, like some kind of reference to that, maybe. I don't know. I always
Like,
Yeah,
have.
you got a thing for small penises, eh? What's going
I,
on?
I don't know what's going on.
You
Maybe
got
I'm trying to
small,
make up for something.
small dicks on your mind.
I saw that as a
This
bumper
is,
sticker. It was weird.
this not a therapy session, Blake.
That's not what this is.
No.
Oh, wrong call.
Do you usually bring your jokes to your therapist?
I know, but I will now. I guess I got to.
You're like, I wrote a 5-minute set on my childhood. You're gonna love it.
You're gonna love it. I hope you like penises.
Is it peni or is it penises? I've always had that question.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Pinu.
What
I
a
don't
porn? I'm sure there's.
I never worry about that because I've only got one anyway.
That's good. One is all you need, I think.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was writing down the.
Oh, no worries.
Is it your turn, Sylvia? What did you
Oh
think?
my gosh, I was so into it. Yeah, the news at being only 1/4 of the newspaper is freaking genius. Yeah, I wanted to hear you talk more about Sudoku or come back to Sudoku or cartoons at the end somehow.
Mm-hmm.
The sports section. I mean, really, I have all the things that really caught my attention. I thought were funny. Other things that came to mind when you were talking about the investment section with the lip gloss or something. Do you remember the magazines that had the perfume samples in it?
Yeah.
Like something about like smells like money or something, if that's like the
Oh
financial.
yeah.
And do you like Harry Potter at all?
Yes.
I could only think of Luna Lovegood with the Quibbler, like writing her own newspaper. That had nothing to do, but when you said, are you from Canada?
Yeah.
Oh my! When you say Trudeau again?
Yeah, Trudeau.
When you said that as clickbait, the next one could be, and how to say Trudeau sexier than Trudeau or something. Because like I was like, so the way you said it, I don't know if you ever performed for American crowds, but that like, I was like, that's cool. I want to know how to say it like that. Trudeau.
Okay.
The 90s thing, I would buy your newspaper. Like things only 90s kids understand. Like sign me up.
That's because I'm francophone. I'm a francophone.
What is that?
I speak French. My
Oh,
first language
lovely.
is French.
Oh, what's hilarious. Me too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
All right. I feel I'm blushing or something. I'm very uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
It was good. It was a gush fest, so I understand on my end.
Yeah, those French accents are a killer, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He says in an Australian accent.
I know it. You got it. Blake, what do we got? Not good enough.
Do what?
So what
I
kind
know.
of accents do we got? Blake, where are you at?
I'm in Indianapolis.
Oh, and they got a nice accent up there in Indianapolis.
Do they?
Do we? Oh man, you got my hopes up.
Proper. It's just like how you like. There is no like you can't figure out where you're from, which is like the reporter accent.
I've been told that I use a long A, and people can tell I'm from the Midwest because of my long A. I don't even know what that means, but that's all I can tell you.
Nice.
And there's probably a little Southern draw in there, but I don't know where it's at. Although I do say get instead of get. So
Ooh. That's spicy.
You have a movie accent. You sound like all the guys in all the movies.
Okay. Well, good. I hope that's working out for me. I wish it would, anyways.
All right, let's move on to our own material because we're already at 40 minutes.
Sorry.
Denzo, do you want to go first?
Yep. Okay.
All right, my timer is ready when you are.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So I am in. Like I said, I'm in Australia. So I'm down under, and I'm in the. So it's 12 o'clock Saturday here. So I'm in your future. It's great. I'm in the future there. Yeah. I'm not going to let you know what's happening though. I'm not going to let you know. But I'm in the future, and obviously for me with the COVID thing, I'm in the high risk category. So it's been a bit rugged for me. Although early on, I got hit up online by some of these young gorgeous girls actually, and it was probably though because they opened up our markets an hour earlier for the so it's either that it was either that or they had daddy issues. So I don't know. You know, it was like I'll take whatever's there. But it's a so I am. We're in your future here, and what I love about being in the future, like I've been showing you, I got my ponytail. See that?
Nice.
Yeah, so I haven't been able to get out and get a haircut. And I got up the other morning though, and I walked out. I had a really rugged hair night, and I walked out into the bathroom, and I'm there, and I just went, "Great Scott!"
Nice.
You got that one? That's good. It's funny, if young people see me like this, they don't know much about Back to the Future. They go, "Look, there's Rick." Did you get that reference? Yeah, but it is when you things are different when you're getting older. I actually did go out and go to the doctors. Still, that was my outing. You know, it was going to the doctors, and it was a funny thing. Like a few weeks ago, I went to the doctors, and there was a sign up on the doctor's wall, and it said the doctor will not see patients who do not attend their appointments. I actually did. I pointed it out to them. I had to. But so you know, with the COVID closed down, all the pubs and clubs have closed down and everything. So now I've taken up to going to the doctor's waiting rooms to crack on, and that's okay. Yeah, that's a good way to go because it's really good because you can you find out everything about people. You know, they're ready to tell you anything at all. You know, and you find out obviously their health, and if you're really lucky, you can crack onto someone with a disability sticker. You can save a fortune in parking there. Park anywhere you like for as long as you like. Just throw it on your dashboard. It's really good. I love it. But when you're getting older too, like things change. You know, everything changes. Your thought process, just the way you think about things. For instance, I live near the beach. I was down there the other day, and this gorgeous young girl walked by in a bikini. Whew, not much to the bikinis today. And I looked at her and I thought, I wonder what her mother looks like. Pretty sad, isn't it? That is sad, I know. And, you know, when I was younger, I used to carry a condom with me just in case. Now I carry a spare pair of jocks just in case. That's pretty sad too. I know. But it's but people have been telling me though, Denzo, you know, you've got to get back on the because I'm single. I've had 2 marriages. So you got to get back into life again, get another life partner. And they're telling me to go on to these online dating sites. There's a whole lot of senior sites there. There's Silver Singles. I even tried Grab a Granny. That didn't even work either. But I got to be honest with you, though. I checked out all those senior sites, but they're all old chicks on there. And that's okay. That's okay. But where I live on the top floor of a 3-story walk-up. Yeah, so it's creepy. It's creepy to think who you can crack onto. Depends on whether you got one of those chairs that go up the stairs or not. Yeah, and I do love to get ladies. I do love to get ladies up to my unit and give them mouth to mouth, but not to resuscitate them. Still, as a senior, still I do practice safe sex. I've got a defibrillator on my bedroom wall. And that's really something, that's something that's great too, guys. I know, you're all younger. This is a bit of a heads up for you. Don't wait till you get to my age to try that sort of thing. After a few beers, a couple of wines, that is kinky shit. It's like, I love it. So there's funny things, and being retired. When I did retire, my wife then thought that retirement meant no more sex. Yeah, I know. That was true. I tried everything to convince her. I even put smashed dab and Vegemite on it. Well, that was her favorite. That didn't even work. Now, thank goodness the dog still liked it though.
Oh.
Well, come on. Why do you think we call him man's best friend? It's not. We can't sit down and have a chat and a drink with him, can we? Come on. But that's good. But I think I might just leave that there now, guys. It's fun. I've got to get out, and I've actually why I'm going now is because I actually just got a bit of a hookup on Tinder, so I don't get them very often. So I've got them later.
Nice.
Yay!
That was very good. Wow. I just wrote here, like, you talk about the future. You could be like, oh, I'm in the future. You guys are in the past. There's a vaccine, you could, we have hover cars. Like, I don't know, just make up stuff. Like,
yeah,
the end of the world happened.
I like that. Yeah.
Also, when you do your I really liked your Great Scott thing. Because I was like, as soon as you let your hair down, I was like, I want to see him do it. Like and you did it, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
And then you did Rick too, but I think you need to mention Morty for it to like.
Okay. Yeah.
Just be like, oh, people call me Rick, and they look for Morty or something.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
both of them are in there.
Yep.
And then I wrote down also with your disability sticker, like, where specifically would you park, like in the terrace, because you say you could park anywhere, and I was just thinking of all these like locations, like on the sidewalk or.
Yeah. I like that. So you're going crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're a real piece of work. But I really enjoyed your set. I enjoyed like on the defibrillator thing. Like you're a very like physical comedian. Is good.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for me. Blake, did you have anything?
Yeah. I also thought about the Rick and Morty reference. Since Rick is often drunk in that show, it might be if you could somehow tie that reference into you being drunk, like at a bar or something.
Right.
I don't know. And let's see. And as far as the defibrillator go, here's a surprise. Maybe, you talk about having a few beers and wines, and sometimes that can have a little effect on your manhood when you are at the point of getting laid. That maybe the defibrillator, not only is it kinky, but it helps you with liftoff a little bit. It helps you get the old manhood going again.
Yep. Yeah. I'll try that and let you know whether it works or not too, Blake.
Don't try that.
No, I like that. Thanks, mate. That's really good feedback from both of you guys.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I have.
Thank you.
What about you, Sylvia?
Oh, Denzo, you're so entertaining. You're so likable. I think that's so good. I've always wanted to hear an Australian say Vegemite, so thank you for all of those dreams coming true. When you talked about the grocery store, that was hilarious because maybe that's global, but we can go into the grocery stores an hour before if you're in the high risk category.
Yeah.
You could say something like, "I'll be your sugar daddy." You guys have a
sugar
daddy?
I like it. Yeah. or toilet paper daddy.
Oh, yeah. Things we never thought we would say in 2020. Oh, and the do you have Life Alert there?
Pardon?
Do you have life alert there? The
Life
little
alert?
buttons? Oh, okay.
No.
The only other thought I had with the different dating sites, you could change out some of the names to make them like generationally more funny for like switch Tinder to something that would go with being older. I don't know what that would be, but like Tinder, Match, and Bumble, you could play on all those words and make them into
Yeah.
like an old person's dating website.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yep.
But it was great. I don't think you're old. You have a ponytail. No wonder you're on Tinder.
Woohoo! Yeah. Hasn't helped much. That's great. Thank you for the feedback, guys. That's brilliant.
All right.
Actually, I do have one more on top of what she was saying about like changing the names of like Tinder and stuff. If you could make one somehow involving grannies and Grubhub, that might be kind of funny.
That's good.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Assuming you have Grubhub there, I'm not sure.
No, we don't. I haven't heard that before. But the grannies, I haven't used that too much. The grab a granny one. That's But yeah, I could do more with that, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
It's so fun. Jolly fun.
It was fun.
All right. Next is Blake.
All right.
Yes.
I'm ready.
All
Yeah.
right, let's go.
Okay. So I have a degree in chemistry, and that statement. It's all I know about chemistry. Yay! Thank you, college. That was the most expensive statement I've ever said in my life. It only cost me 4 times the national average in student loan debt. I could have bought a house, but instead I decided to get a piece of paper that I barely use. So who's smart now? Thank you, college. But I did finally pay it off, and my throat's still, my throat's still a little sore, but it's paid off. Now, I did learn a few things in chemistry. So chemical reactions are just molecules exchanging electrons. And sometimes that exchange can be explosive. Sometimes that exchange can get things very cold. And sometimes that exchange can call you up in the middle of the night looking for bail money. In which point things can be explosive and cold. Actually, I quit dating. I quit trying to get laid. I quit drinking. I quit watching porn. Party at my place. Who wants to come hang out at my place? We'll have a great time. We'll play bingo. Your grandma's coming over. Denzo, I might have a date for you here. So, my name is Blake, and my parents, they lovingly named me after iconic 80s evening soap opera character Blake Carrington from the show Dynasty, because they were trying to prove our family intelligence and our cultural reach to all of our friends in our all-white town that we lived in. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for that. Thank you for naming me after a ruthless, greedy oil tycoon. They must have had high hopes, and obviously not using my degree isn't very high hopes anymore, so they're probably disappointed after that. So I got to, in order to get him back, I joined the cancel culture movement, and I actually called my dad's job, and I got him fired for being intolerant of lactose. We'll have no intolerance in my family. So eat it, Dad. Just don't eat dairy. I don't want you to get sick. I still love you. So playing drums I've learned that it's a lot like having kids. Man, beating them feels great. Hey, don't get me wrong. I don't have kids, I'm talking about beating your kids. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, folks. I wouldn't beat kids. Not in this country, anyways. So I went to Paris and I went to the Louvre Museum, and I realized that there's no way that that place could exist in the United States. There's more dick and titty in that building than in a Hugh Hefner party. Come on. Well, at least there was. Anyways, no more Hugh Hefner. I I was on my health app and I was checking my numbers, and below the numbers there's a learning section, and it said learn about menstrual cycles. Did my health app just call me a bitch? Have you ever been so mad that it made your stomach hurt? I just took some Midol and cleared it right up. So, oh man. So I used to drive a big box delivery truck, and I learned the hard way that day, that you actually have to pay attention to the height of bridges. I made it all the way through. Have you ever seen a box truck where it looked like it was opened by a can opener, and that one little piece was left that it didn't cut, so the lid's bouncing off the back, mocking you for being an idiot? It looked like it snowed insulation that day. What a beautiful day. Hey, I'm Blake Chamlin. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Whoa.
I really like your thing where you're like, I quit drinking and watching porn. So, like, if anyone wants to come to my place, we can play bingo. I thought you can also add, like, as a tag, and we can have a nice suicide watch, you know? Cause,
Okay.
Because it sucks. And then, what was your last joke again? I'm sorry. You said, oh, the
about
can
the
opener thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought because you were saying that you felt like an idiot, or you look like an idiot. I think you can add that was a terrifying moment for people standing on the sidewalk, like pedestrians were like, because it has to be the most noisy, frightening thing you can ever see, right? So I thought that could be a nice contrast. Other than that, I really like your pacing, and you have a very good punchline delivery.
Oh, thank you.
And you're very funny. So, what about you, Denzel?
Yeah, that's great, Blake. I love you using the chemistry, and is that real that you got a chemistry thing, or have you got that background? Yeah, great. I think that's great using that background, because everybody relates to that with the with the money you've got to pay, and whether you can use it like you could even, I don't know, over in Australia here, when you talk about an arts degree, that's sort of like a lower thing. You're only doing an arts degree to get the benefits from university or the government benefits or something. So I don't know whether you can tie that in, how much greater you are than an arts degree or something like that. But yeah, that with the chemical reactions, like I think you can get a lot out of that. Actually, I love that when you were doing all the chemical stuff there. Even the chemistry with you could use some chemistry with dating, even how you form a chemistry with your partner, or on a first date or something like that. How chemistry can go wrong. And the intelligence, I love, the drums and the beating them. That's sort of that's good. It's like it's good going on the edge like that, and you handle that well. And it's like the beating kids and that sort of edgy stuff. But I thought you handled that really well. And I love that the kids the truck. Yeah, the truck thing's good. That's a good story. I like the maybe I don't know what you can do. I like the idea of Victoria there with the bystanders. That's the one where you say you felt like an idiot with the truck pulling back, and yeah, adding something on where and the people who had the I don't know, who was standing in it or had the wreckage around them. Look, so, I don't know, but yeah, I like that idea of bringing something into it. But no, that was great. I love the your energy in it was great as well. That
Thank
was
you.
good.
All right. What about you, Sylvia?
Yeah, I think overall, I don't know if you've gotten this. You got this vibe, like you're this wholesome guy, and then you like start talking, and it's it's kind of surprising, which is fun. Like your first sentence grabs attention, and so I found that interesting. I wanted to hear more about your relationship with your dad. I thought that was funny, like talking about him being lactose intolerant, but you also calling to get him fired. I just kind of more dad stories. The biggest thing, oh yeah, when you talked about things that you gave up, you could say, but you can come over and play Monopoly because I haven't given up on Rage, or like you can come play this because I haven't given up this yet. Something that like entices a certain emotion where it's like, hey, I gave up all these other things, but I don't know. Bingo's cool, but I don't mean like I don't feel like I can relate to that as much as I could like Monopoly or something.
Okay.
And that was it. I'm not gonna ask you to tutor my kids in chemistry. Not because I don't think you're good at chemistry, but because of the beating thing.
My sister has kids and she loves that joke.
That's a good part about being a comedian. It's like, what's true, what's not true.
Right.
Also, I just wanted to add, I just thought of something. Talk about chemistry. You have a shaved head. Breaking Bad references,
Sure.
like you're like, are you cooking meth? Maybe that's why you got your chemistry degree, because you thought you wanted to learn how to cook meth, but you don't. You're like a white guy, so you don't know any drug dealers. So like you have to go to university.
Oh, that's very good. That's very good.
Master's
You could be a
degree.
stunt double.
What?
Yeah, I love that. I
He
love that.
could be
Good.
a stunt double for the guy from Breaking Bad. Like you may recognize me from Breaking Bad. I'm his stunt double.
He could be like, I'm the one that got shot at the end.
That's good. Anyways,
yeah. That's all I have.
All right.
Sylvia, are you ready?
I'm ready. I like how when you're pointing, it's someone else on my screen.
Oh, really? Pointing at you.
Whoa!
Let's go.
You should be wearing some 3D glasses, making all of these.
Okay, it's getting weird. I feel like I'm in a dream now.
She's pointing with a French accent though.
I'm pointing with
It's just a little
point.
So yes.
Okay.
A little bit about me. I am a true lady, but I have been known to pee in the shower. A few months ago, I had twin girls, which is pretty interesting, especially because a lot of times people say, oh, you got a 2-for-1 deal. I'm like, those people don't have twins, because I'm pretty sure I'm paying for both, according to the medical bills. But they're worth every penny. When we found out at the sonogram that we were having twins, the lady put the jelly on my belly and was like, okay, I see 1 baby, I see 2 baby, I don't see 3 baby. And I was like, first of all, are we at an auction hall? And come again? Which, me saying that was what got us into this position in the first place. I don't know if you guys ever have family members that want to claim something good about you. My mom, she'd be like, you're smart because you're German. My dad's like, no, you're smart because you're Irish American. And then my grandma's like, no, you're smart because you're Sicilian. And really, I'm just telling you this so you think I'm smart. I also, after coming home from the hospital with the twins, I developed something called Bell's palsy. And if you don't know what Bell's palsy is, it's when half of your face literally becomes frozen, and it usually comes on from stress. And it's hard to eat or drink or say certain words, especially anything with a B or a P. And think about it. Some jerk names it Bell's palsy. I don't know. These are some of my random ones. I don't know who's lobbying for bicyclist rights, but I feel like they're doing a really good job because they can literally drive on the street and not even be able to go the speed limit, but therefore they're allowed to be in front of me. I have never understood the creepy killer in like creepy serial killer in movies until I had a toddler. And what I'm talking about is the part where they're just walking slowly after somebody running away from them, and somehow they're still able to catch up. Like until I was at the playground and my son wouldn't listen to me, and I was just creepy walking behind him as he's running. Like I just like, I get it. I get how somebody could be creepy walking. Depression runs in my family, which is a pretty crappy thing to have run in your family. It's like, why couldn't I get the olive skin gene? The great thing about depression is like oftentimes you don't feel like brushing your teeth, which just makes other people not want to hang out with you, which just feeds your depression. I'm also the type like I get weirdly anxious about things. The other day, before I even get to that, I'll tell you my mom, like I mentioned, she's German. English is like her third language. And so I remember driving around growing up and she'd be like, we'd be listening to some music and she'd be like, ooh, I like this song. Can you smoke me a copy of this CD? I was like, yeah, Mom, I can burn you one. But I know I can never phantom how much she loves me. She told me that. But as I was saying, I get anxious about weird things. The other day, I killed a cockroach. It was dead. I threw it in the trash. That night, I'm laying in bed, and all I can think is, it's going to come back to life. It's going to crawl out of that trash can, crawl down the hallway, crawl up to my face, and whisper, dinner wasn't that great tonight, Sylvia. Because it's a mean zombie cockroach and knows all of my insecurities. I told that joke to my mom. Not that joke. I told that story to my mom, and she was like, oh, you need to hire a Terminator. I was like, oh, does Arnold hire by the hour, Mom? I had no idea. I've recently been getting into politics of my toddler stuffed animal collection. Like, I just kind of want to know who's the boss there. And I'm pretty sure it's Hairy Bear. But sometimes I see Blue Bear kind of getting up next to him. I don't know where to go from there. You guys know those, like, love you to the moon and back signs? Have you guys seen those?
Yes.
It's like a basic white girl thing. It says, I love you to the moon and back. It's just, to me, those are really popular in, home goods, the stores I go into. And I just can't stand those signs because it's not that far. Like, if you want to love me to Uranus and back. It's much further. Solar systemly speaking. Sometimes I use the butter knife on other foods just to make the butter jealous. Anytime somebody tells me they have a high pain tolerance, I just kind of want to punch them in the face. I would like to meet the first. Oh, is that it?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you. I wrote down a lot of weird
Yay.
ideas.
Yay.
Good.
You're so funny. You just finished like, oh, is that it? All right.
Sorry, I still had a page of consciousness.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I really like your stuff about your twins and being a mom and stuff. I feel like you have a very particular voice, and it's nice to hear it. Like,
Oh,
I mean, like your artistic voice, like not your actual voice. Your actual voice is nice too, but like that's not what I meant.
yeah.
I thought you could explore more the comparison between you and a serial killer.
Nice.
There's probably more there, like you're forcing your kids to eat food and you're singing creepy songs at them, and like you're like, no, today you're wearing a sweater, and like
That's
they don't
great.
want to.
Watching them sleep, I for sure
Yeah.
watch them sleep.
You watch them sleep. You stroke their face while they're sleeping. I don't know, like.
That's so good. Yeah.
Also, I like that you were gonna start a joke about teddy bears that you didn't finish, but
Yeah.
I like that subject.
Cool.
And I wrote out that you should act out the Terminator with the cockroaches.
Nice. That's
And
good.
like, I don't know, like there's probably catchphrases in the Terminator you could apply to cockroaches. I
Yeah.
think it would be funny.
That's
You know,
good.
Yeah, that's good.
that's my feedback. What
Thank
about you,
you.
Denzo?
Yeah, that was great. I loved the way you do it. I love the way you break up and laugh at something that you thought of or at yourself. That's a really infectious thing. I love the way you do that, and that was good. You were doing something early on with you're saying you're a lady, and throughout it you were doing that as well, which is great. Yeah, I love the come again. That was very good too. And even when you're talking about how smart you are, I don't know whether you can tie that in with a smart car or a smart watch or one of those sorts of things. I don't know. Yeah, you can maybe tie that in there. I love the Bell's palsy. That was great. Yeah, the B and the P. That's good. And even if you can use something that holds up with a B or a P, or, I don't know. Do something there with some little sentence that has a B and a P in it that makes it sound crazy. You know that I think that could be quite good. Whether it's biss off or instead of going piss off, I don't know.
That's funny.
One or the other. And the creepy walking, that's good too. Yeah, you've been doing that yourself. And maybe you could throw a visual in there, like a Chucky visual. Chucky.
Yeah.
And maybe throw a bit, because everyone knows how Chucky walks along to do that. So maybe that could be a really good visual. Because just the visual of you doing it was good too. It was excellent. The smoke and the burn. That's you can do a lot of things with that, with the language sort of thing too. That's quite good. And I lost you with the aluminum, because we say aluminium. But that's
like the way you say it.
That's my bad luck. Yeah.
I'm with you on that one, Denzo.
Yeah, right. Oh, you are too. Okay. Yeah, that's good. No, that was great. Yeah, the butter knife being jealous. I love that too. That's really good doing that. Just those quick little things are really good too. Sometimes you just go bang, bang, bang. That was really good. And it was a great energy you had there.
Thank you. That's so kind.
All right. What about you, Blake? What did you think?
All right. I love the joke about peeing in the shower. That was awesome. I also like the auction line was great. I like the thing about the Bell's palsy. My dad actually had Bell's palsy, and it was like 20 years ago. I was wondering, I don't know, you say you had it. I don't know. I can still tell that my dad had it, because that side of his face is just slightly different. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you can somehow go into that or not. But let's see. When you use the word phantom in place of fathom, at least I think that's what you were doing, because you were doing the smoke and burn joke, because you were doing two. I was trying to figure out what word phantom, not what it sounds like, but what other word did you actually mean? And I was like, maybe she means imagine, because burnt and smoke. So instead, because it kind of throws you off when you're doing it the way you did it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it took me a little. I didn't quite get that one at the time, but let's see. And then the Terminator thing, I don't know if this would work, but in the movie, part of the idea of the movie is there's going to be a big nuclear, basically holocaust, and cockroaches can survive a nuclear holocaust. I don't know if you can somehow tie all that in there as well.
Yeah,
And that's what I have.
that's good. Thank you, Blake.
That's good. Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right. So that leaves me.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Let me just start my timer.
Let's welcome Victoria.
Woo, thank
Yay!
So, a lot of my friends been getting pregnant lately on purpose, I guess. So the phrase "don't worry, I'll drive you to the clinic" is not appropriate anymore. I don't know. I'm just trying to be a good friend, you know? Like, what am I supposed not to tell you? You're making the worst mistake of your life? Like, get an abortion. They're legal, they're free. Go for it, follow your dreams, exercise your rights, you know? And to be honest, I think having babies is kind of selfish. Babies are bad for the environment. We need less people, not more. I do my part for the environment. I swallow for the earth. And my boyfriend's a huge environmentalist. In our house, we recycle, we compost, we swallow. Very important. Have you guys ever thought about being a nun? You know, when I was a teenager, I thought, like, I should be a nun. But I never got the call from God. It's like a sign that God gives you that you should be a nun, and I never got the call, you know? I guess I never heard it because I was too busy writing Harry Potter Dumbledore fan fiction one-handed. And God was probably like, yikes, she seems busy, I'll ask someone else. But if I was a nun, I would pray so fast. My speed run on the rosary is 10 minutes, you know? I would pray so fast, I would finish all my morning prayers before all the other nuns, and then I'd be able to go play in the park with all my nun friends, and I would be the first one on the swings every day, you know, first one on the swings, first one to heaven. And if I was a nun, I would be so chaste. I would be so chaste that the Islamic State would be like, take it down a notch. You know, you're chomping our flavor. Nuns are so naive, though. They're too naive for me. It's crazy that you would commit your life to someone you're not even having sex with. Like, it's not like nuns are married to Jesus, right? And it's not like they're getting paid either to pray and judge people and look drab or whatever it is that they do. I guess they don't get paid in money, they get paid in exposure, which is great, because it's not like those nuns are going to get discovered from their podcasts, you know? The Jesus Christ Experience, What the Frig with Sister Josephine, or This Chastity Life on NPR. That's it for me.
All right. Yay.
Thank you.
That's cool.
All right, Denzo, what do you have for me?
Yeah, that's great. I really love the parts that you dropped out in. That was really good. No, just that's a joke. No, a couple of times for me, sadly, it froze for me a couple of times.
Oh,
I guess just a couple, but
okay.
but that was great. I love the way that the way you started that off was great with the pregnant, and just throwing in the way you throw things in, like just and on purpose. That was I think so. That was really good doing that too. Exercising rights. That was great, and bringing in the environmentalist thing, because that's all a topic at the moment. So that's really good. And I love the nun. All your nun stuff was great. I love the nun stuff. You don't really hear of anybody doing anything like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So that is really good. I love the you may not get the call from God because you're writing one-handed. It just that leaves the thought pattern out for everybody there, to think about what's going on there. So I think that's really good. And I know you can even extend on that, how you got really good at writing one-handed. I don't know. So that's really good. A nun friend playing on the swings. I like when you were saying the nuns, when they got the no, there's no sex, and it's you could say something like, and they're too old for the priests.
Oh.
So you're bringing in the same thing there. That's because it's the same the Catholic whatever. So it's and I'm Catholic as well, or I am, whatever. There's lots that you can do there. But I love all that, and you do. You all got you guys, and you have a great energy. Just you want to listen to you. That's great.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you.
Brilliant.
What about you, Blake? What did you think?
I thought it was great. I love the line "pregnant on purpose." I thought that whole part was awesome. I kind of wish you would have elaborated somehow when you said about the speed round on the rosary. For some reason, I wanted you to keep going with that. But I couldn't figure out where to maybe kind of point you to. The Jesus Christ experience is awesome. Go ahead. What were you getting ready to say?
Oh, I was just saying that bit about the rosary. I do it for more people. I do it for people who know what a rosary is, because it takes more time than that to do a full one. But I don't know how to explain to people what a rosary is in a funny way.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. And then going back to the nuns on the swings, and I don't know, somehow you make it like that's the only way they're getting action is by being on the swings, and if they're wearing their typical, what do they call that? The habit is like somehow the wind is all the action that they get when they're swinging back and forth, and that makes them feel good.
The Holy Ghost.
Yeah, there you go. The Holy Ghost.
Oh.
And that's all I had.
That's good. All right.
I
What about you, Sylvia?
I wonder how many people do know. I think a lot of people that know at least about the rosary, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I think so, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna ask you if you and Sylvia know what the rosary is.
My dad was Catholic, but we were not Catholic. So I just know it's prayers, but this is probably dumb. When you said rosary, the thing that came to my mind is the necklace with the beads that people hang from their rear view mirror.
Yeah, that's it.
So you pray through the beads?
Yeah, you do a set of prayer in each bead.
Yeah, you could always contrast it to and if you don't know what rosary is, this isn't the Baptist good food, good eat, good God, let's eat. This is a necklace of prayers or something, because it took me so long to remember it that I was trying to get back into your set.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Did you have anything else, Denzo?
Yes.
Sylvia?
Yes. Oh yeah, the nun. I haven't heard a set on nuns, which was so good, so fun. I think that you could also, these are just random ideas. It was so good. It doesn't mean anything, but have you heard of the nun generation?
No.
So, you have the millennials, and then you have Gen X, or I don't know what order, but there's also the nunners are next.
Okay.
And they're the ones, I think they don't have a religion or a spiritual association at all. And they're called the nunners, which is kind of ironic.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then I didn't know if you could play up the sister act thing, when you talk about the podcast, Whoopi Goldberg. Have you seen Sister Act?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Oh yeah, how she did wonders for the nun, exposure. And then when you were talking at the beginning, driving your friends to the abortion, be you don't have to say this, but thank God my mom didn't have a friend like me.
Yeah.
But you're but I'm a damn good friend.
Yeah.
But no, other than that, it was good. It was really clever.
Yeah, that was good.
All right.
And even I don't know whether you could or not, tying the nuns in with the. Oh, you've gone frozen again. Can you hear me? Oh no.
Yes.
Yes.
You just all look frozen. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether you can tie it in with something like naan bread. I don't know. With a
Oh yeah.
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 The health
It's a
conscious.
good pun. All right.
Yeah, your three ways that you help the environment was so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean everybody's all about that.
All right.
That could be a humanitarian effort as well as an environmental effort. Just
I'm following the Amnesty International guidelines. All right.
The podcast name examples for Nun podcast, that was hilarious. Were any of those real? Those were made
Oh
up?
no, I just ripped off What the Fuck with Mark Maron and the Joe Rogan Experience and
Oh, that was so
This
good.
American Life on NPR.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean that was funny. Like the idea of what Nuns podcast would be if they had podcasts.
I would love to listen to that.
Mother Teresa, like what would her podcast be?
Yeah. That would be amazing. All right, so if we're all done with the feedback, now is the time where you get to plug in any projects that you have or like a Facebook page you want people to go to or Twitter account or an Instagram. Denzo, do you have anything?
No, not really. No.
All right, that's fine. Blake?
you can just I'm mostly on Facebook, and that's just Blake Chamlin, and I have Instagram. I don't use it as much, but it's at Blake.Chamlin.
Perfect. What about you, Sylvia?
I do like that Instagram game. I'm Sylvia McBateman. It's just at my name with no spaces.
Okay.
And then the same for my Facebook page is Sylvia McBateman. That's my Facebook page. My personal page is my full Sylvia McCallum Bateman. So just as Sylvia McBateman, I would love to be friends with you.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll definitely add you. Yes.
Yeah, I actually do have just on my Facebook is Denzo Moore, but yeah, I do have in Instagram is Denzo_comedy.
Perfect.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That's
on
good.
Instagram?
Pardon?
No, you said on Instagram?
Yes.
All right. Good.
You, Victoria?
I have a Twitter. It's VickyB_twice. Is the same for my Instagram. I have a podcast called The Dirty Four that I do with 3 of my friends. We're all blue comedians.
Nice.
Each in our own way. And I do a morning
Vicky_B, was it?
VickyB_twice. I'll send you the link after. So after all this, you guys can all send the links to our group, our messenger group, and Scott will publish them
Sure.
on the workshop because usually we get more views the day after.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's that. Did you guys have fun?
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
You liked
Thank you
it?
for
Yes. Thank you.
It's beautiful all over the world. Comedy,
Yeah.
it's nothing like it, you know?
I love that.
Yeah, this is great.
Thank you for all y'all's hard work, Victoria.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here. You know?
Yeah, thanks, guys. All the best. Bye.
Yes. Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Good one. See ya.
Bye.
No one wants to be the last